guys, welcome to this week's show. It is a little delayed, 1 or 2 days, because I wanted to let you guys give you the latest information as it related to the U17 trip to Amman, Jordan. In a few minutes, I'll flip over and we'll continue the conversation with Lucas and the interviews with the 4 young women who are competing at the U17 World Championships. But because of the uncertainty in the Middle East and flights being kind of shut down or delayed, getting into Jordan and everything else, there has been a lot of conversation over the last several days about whether they would move the event, whether the event would continue, whether Team USA would continue to go, all the different things. And I got word yesterday afternoon that the event was still on and that Team USA is still going. I think that there's some travel challenges as it relates to getting there, but yeah, I don't know if everyone will make it. I don't know everyone's travel schedule. I don't know how they all get there and everything else. But as of Thursday morning, the World Championships are still scheduled to begin on Monday, with wrestling starting Monday morning in Amman, Jordan. So keep that in mind. Things could change over the next couple of days, but this is our preview of the U17s, the 4 interviews, and a recap of the Olympics. I hope you guys enjoy it. See ya. What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's edition of SC and Scrappy. And, let's be honest. Every 4 years, the best get together and compete for Olympic medals. And that is, that really at the end of the day is what I think. Not to say that a high school wrestler is not training for a state championship or anything along those lines, but ultimately you want to get to that level. You want to get to the level of winning an Olympic gold, and it is a very, very difficult path. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Olympics today. We're also going to talk a little bit about the U17s who are heading to Amman, Jordan, in this week. They'll be wrestling in Amman, Jordan at the end of this week. And then I've got a couple clips. I talked to 4 different U17s that are on their way there, for 4 women that are on the team. I didn't get some of the Southeast kids that I did get Piper Fowler, but I didn't get everyone else that are heading there. But yeah, it'll be fun to listen to what they have to say. It's just some quick interviews, 5 minutes or so. When I say Olympics and Olympic wrestling, who's the first person that pops into your head, Lucas?
Carellen.
Yeah.
That's the first one that comes to mind for me. Like, just the idea of international dominance. But now, watch me push this agenda. Mayan Lopez is the greatest Olympian ever. Any sport. Agendas.
Well, let's be honest. 5 Olympic gold medals. For those of you who don't know, Lopez, who Scrappy is referring to, just won his 5th at 110 kilos? Is that about right?
I think it's 130. I think it's 130
kilos in Greco. He is a Cuban, and I think he was 41 or 42 years old.
41.
Winning his 5th. That is bonkers. I could go through the list of wrestlers who haven't won one.
He's the only man in any Olympic style to win 5 golds in the same event and category.
That is crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts.
It is.
And
nuts.
Let's also remember, he wrestled in the 6th Olympics before he started winning golds. Let's remember that.
Is that right?
Yes, he wrestled in Sydney in 2000.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
Holy
well,
cow.
let me fact check myself. I'm like 99% sure. Give me a moment.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. Although we had plenty of surprises at the Olympics here this past 2 weeks. So, yeah,
We'll get there when we get there.
Well, as you fact check yourself, just to give everybody a
Yes,
heads up.
yes. He got fifth in 04 in Athens, gold in Beijing, gold in London, gold in Rio, gold in Tokyo, gold in Paris.
Okay. Wow. So it wasn't 2000, it was 04, but
Yes.
still same sort of deal. I mean,
I was
that's
one
crazy.
setback. So
Right.
whatever. Point
Wow.
being.
All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to slice in these interviews with the U17s in the middle of our kind of conversations. That way they're not all at the end with one another. And we're going to begin with a conversation with one of your U17s that's heading to Amman, Jordan, and that is Bella Williams. All right, I'm here with Bella Williams. Bella, first, congratulations on making Team USA.
Thank you.
How does that sound?
I'm really happy for the opportunity. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like you were super excited about it, or you're waiting for the next moment because you want to like go out and represent? How does it make you feel?
I mean, it's my first time making the team, so I'm really happy to have accomplished that goal. And then obviously with making the team, then you have some tournaments that you're now participating under the name Team USA. So
yeah, and wearing the colors.
Mm-hmm.
So does that bring a level of nerves?
It does, but at the same time, it helps being on a team with like other people in the same boat.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like less pressure if I think I'm also on a team.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Very cool. Well, I see the Oklahoma State or Oklahoma Elite, although I said state because it's the same colors. Yeah. So you're from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
How has the trip been to here, Tennessee, getting to see information from different coaches and everything else? How's the overall thing been?
Yeah, it's been different, kind of going to a different area of the country. Haven't really been to Tennessee specifically before for training, but I'm glad for the opportunity to get like different partners, see some of the teammates that I'm going to be on the team with, and then getting to meet the coaches.
Yeah.
They all have different techniques that I can kind of pick up and choose what I want to incorporate.
Yeah, is there anything specifically that you've seen that you're like, I'm going to use that?
Yeah, there's been a couple like hand fighting techniques, kind of how you set up your ties that I've really liked, as well as some leg laces that have been shown.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you guys just returned from a whitewater rafting, right?
Yeah.
Adventure. What did you think of that?
It was interesting. I haven't been rafting. I went with when I was 10, so it's been a while. It was a fun experience. I did go overboard. So
yeah. Were you nervous about going over or no?
I'm a good enough swimmer that I wasn't too worried, but I did not want to hit a rock or something. That's what I was more worried about. Not the water, it was the rocks.
I got you. Was it a pretty cool like team building experience with the girls?
Yeah, it was really funny. Just being in the boat, 'cause you did have to work together, but at the same time it was a very like lighthearted atmosphere, so it wasn't very serious.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun time.
All right, so how are you prepping for Jordan? And what I mean by that is that are you going to Pan Am's like some of the others are? Are you going to Fargo?
No.
Okay, so you have one big event before this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you prepping for it?
Obviously the camps, that's kind of why I'm here, is to get different looks. So I got to go up to like the Olympic Training Center before Pan Am's, and then I'll get to go again for World Championships. So I'll get that experience, and then I can do some camps. I've been using a lot of like RTCs to practice and like get some coaches to help me stuff, but I also belong to like a club through my high school, so that's kind of like a consistent practice I get to participate in.
So have you competed outside the country before?
No, this will be a first time.
So is that going to be weird?
It'll be strange. I've never done it before, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So have you been outside the country not competing before? Have you ever been
No.
out? Never even been outside the country. So going outside the country, a lot of people go to Mexico, or they've been to Canada, or they go to some other place. You're going to Jordan. Mm-hmm. So what are you excited about it, or what are you thinking about it?
Yeah, I think I'm just really happy that I got the opportunity, because I know, like, obviously it took a lot to get to this position.
Absolutely.
It was like a tournament you did have to win. So I was happy for that. And then I know some people are like, the location's a little bit scary. I understand that, but at the same time, I'm not really going for like a vacation.
Right.
It's more just like, this is what I'm doing through wrestling, and that's just where it happens to be.
Very
So
cool.
We'll
Very
see
cool.
how that works out. But
Yeah. So the last question I have for you is kind of the feeling of kind of wearing the Team USA. Have you, are you? Is it? I don't know. Is it bringing a sense of nerves with it, or are you? How are you feeling about wearing the colors?
I got like part of the gear package, and I like was showing my parents that said like Team USA on the back, and so I was really happy to see that. And obviously I'm really nervous because I think there's like pressure by representing the country and stuff. But at the same time, I also know that this is like, there's just so many like levels to go, that this is U17 and it's really serious and like prestigious. But at the same time, I can like, there's higher levels to get to as well.
And so this is a step on your further journey.
Yeah. So just kind of putting it in perspective, just being like grateful that this opportunity is, I have that opportunity to do that, and soaking it up. I'm just going like living in the present day at a time.
I think that's great. Yeah. That's fantastic. So Bella, I want to say congratulations on making the team. I want to wish you the best of luck. We'll be cheering for you from back here, even in the Southeast. We'll be still cheering for the Oklahoma girl out over in Jordan. And wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. So Bella Williams is one of your four that I got a chance to catch up with. U17's such a great opportunity for them to head to Amman, Jordan, and represent with USA. I mean, how cool is it to represent the colors of your country at an event like that?
That's gotta be that has to be a highest of honor. Must be.
It's got to be so cool, right?
Yeah.
So going back to the Olympics, that is the highest of honors where you're wearing your colors. I mean, World Championships are great. So are Pan Am. So are lots of different places. And I'll tell you what, the one country that represented was Japan. Man,
who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that it's Japan that comes out with the most medals? I would never have suspected that I was going into it.
Well, and not even close. Like 8 golds.
Dominate.
8 golds versus what? The US had 2, Iran had 2, over like women, men, and Greco. Out of 18 opportunities, they had 8 golds, and they
qualified 13.
They qualified 13, right?
It's a nutty run. It's nutty for them. And it's obviously in their wrestling history, when I look back, this is clearly their best Olympics to date. And I think it's, I think the question now is this a anomaly? Because let's not act as if there wasn't 2 specific countries not there that are usual suspects toward the top of the podium in every weight class. But I think the question does have to be asked, is this an anomaly, or is this now just the normal?
Well, and the question I think that's a great question. I also think the other question is with those 2 countries absent, how does Iran and the United States not fill in the gap? And instead it was Japan.
I mean, so this is what's interesting. If you go to the 2023 World Championships, the one thing I think that does need to be mentioned most golds was Japan.
Oh, is that right?
Without Russia, Japan had the most golds. United States had the most medals in total. Japan had the second most medals with 12. So does this perhaps it leads me to believe this might not be an anomaly.
Nah, I don't think it's an anomaly anyway. And the reason I say that is that you look at the Japanese women, they've always been dominant. I mean, just absolutely dominant. And it's I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's weird, but like the Japanese men in freestyle have been good, not great. Their Greco has been like, I don't know, kind of like the United States' Greco, not overly powerful, anything by any stretch of the imagination. And what, 2 golds in Greco? Man, what are they doing?
Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, they had 2. I'm looking at it right now. I was looking at the brackets.
Yeah, 2 golds in Greco. So that is amazing to me. All right, so moving from Japan to the United States, if you're given a grade, what's the grade? And you can give a grade based upon men's freestyle, men's Greco.
I have to go each style.
Okay,
I have to go each style. Greco, D.
Yeah.
Women's freestyle, I'm gonna give them an A-.
I agree.
I loved seeing obvious. So for those who don't know, Sarah Hildebrand is one of my favorite women's wrestlers of them all. I just love her style. I love her tenacity. So seeing her get gold is awesome. And
Amit Elor is like just, I mean, she's a stud.
Amit, bro, she is nasty with it. And Kennedy Blades getting runner-up. Very happy to see that. So a very good performance from the women's. And then the men's freestyle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a C+.
Wow. I think some people might give him actually a lower grade than that.
Well, so when I looked at the draws, I said it to my friends. I said my predictions were I didn't think Mason Paris was gonna place.
Right.
Once I saw he had Mishishvili from Azerbaijan in his quarter, which he didn't even get to him. He lost to Mongolia in the first round. I thought Snyder would get bronze. He didn't medal at all. I said Brooks in bronze. I said Date gold. So
and Brooks had a shot at gold at being in the finals.
Yo, Brooks is the toughest human alive. Brooks is the toughest human alive. How he fought that bow and arrow as long as he did, Jesus had to have blessed his knees. I don't know.
And for those of you who don't know the reference, Aaron is very much a devout Christian, so that would be where that came from.
I thought his knee was gonna fall off. Zane, I thought Zane could have placed, but man, you draw Amuzad at round 1. That's a rough out. And then honestly, I thought Spencer Lee was going to win the whole kit and caboodle, especially once, Mikic drops out. But I mean, he runs into Higuchi. It's a 4-2 match. Like, none of their losses to me, I don't want to say that because, man, Dake losing to Takagana pissed me off. But I mean, Takagana's a monster, so it's not like he lost to someone he shouldn't have. But I feel like that's a very winnable match.
Yeah. I know. I look. I mean, all the losses, they're not crazy. It's just one of those situations where, and you could talk about the draws, and the draws were kind of crazy. As far as
we won't even talk about that. Like, but don't get me started.
But you know what? You bring the team. The team on paper looks like it walks away with more medals than what it does. And the fact that Iran and the United States, neither one of them walked away with a gold medal.
That's
wow.
The real, like, hey, yo. Also, I want to say one thing to the Mongoloids that are posting online and talking. Jordan would have won. Taylor would have. Shut up. I'm sorry. I have no time for that because they lost. so they wouldn't have. Okay, so just if you're saying that, go find a wall to yell at. Just shut up.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in
Wanted to
any
throw
of that.
that out there. I hate those people so much. Like with every fiber of my being, I hate them because they make everything worse about life. Like, I'm sorry, just wanted to throw that out there.
All right, so let's cut to a clip of my interview with Morgan Turner, and man, she was a blast to talk to. So we'll break down a little bit of her after this interview. All right, Morgan, how are you?
Good.
Yeah. Well, tell me where you just came back from, like just an hour ago. Where were you?
We were at the whitewater rafting in Tennessee. Yeah, it was a lot. I've never been whitewater rafting.
What'd you think of it?
It was good until I got tipped over.
Oh, did somebody tip you over, or did the boat tip you over?
No, the man that was in the back, he was like, "Okay, guys, now row faster, faster," and then he flipped and he tipped us all over.
Oh, he tipped all of you over.
Yeah, it was me, Piper, and 3 other people.
And when you went in, like, were you scrambling to get right back out?
Well, when I got in, so before this, they told us, they were like, stay calm, and we had our paddles. They said, hold on to the paddle, and then don't try to swim, just lay on your back. So when I went into the water, I was like, and then I was like, oh, let me go to my back, and I was holding on to it. And the guy he already knew that I was like scared to go under the water. And like when I felt I was going up, he's like, all I hear is Morgan, come here, Morgan. And he's trying to pull me back up. He's grabbing my life vest and he's pulling me up.
Were you freaking out?
Yeah, well, I don't like being underwater.
I mean, I understand, but like, did you kind of relax for a second, or were you just like totally freaked out?
No, I was freaked out, but then when I came up and I heard my name, I was like, oh, I should be fine.
You should be fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, we are in Tennessee for this combine.
Yeah.
You're prepping for the World Championships coming up. We talked about it just before we started recording, and Amon Jordan. What's your mindset? What's your focus? How are you kind of, I mean, because it's in August, so you still got a little bit to go. How are you kind of prepping yourself to be able to peak in August?
Well, I know that there's going to be a lot of great competition, so I'm training hard. I know it's going to be hot, so I'm probably going to go on vacation somewhere hot. And then I know the food, I heard the food was okay. People were getting sick, so I'm definitely preparing for that. I feel like just doing what I normally do. Definitely trying to get used to the sea level difference. So swimming, not in the whitewater rafting, just swimming in like regular pools.
Yeah.
With my coach. Other than that, I feel like just training hard, doing what I do and trying to be the best I can be.
So what? Have you ever been to Jordan? No, never been there. So this will be a new experience.
Yeah.
Where's the coolest place that wrestling's taken you? I mean, it could be in the United States, it could be in the world, wherever. Illinois.
Yeah.
All right. Home is the coolest place.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, we got a lot of great competition. I mean, we have a lot of great teams. You got Harvey Twisters, you got Toss 'em Up. We got a lot of great people, Caleb Noble, myself, Nori Turner, my brother, Jack Hogan, everybody's there is good. Cassiopes, everybody that has been there has done something in the long run. So I mean, like Nasir Bailey, he just made history at Little Rock. There's a lot of great studs that come out of Illinois. Illinois is the hardest state, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I get you. So how proud is it to wear Illinois across the chest or on the singlet?
It's amazing. I mean, that's where I come from. That's where I've grown up in. So to be able to represent them is amazing.
All right, now we transition to having Team USA. How's that feel?
It's great. I mean, it's a feeling that not a lot of people get. It's really hard to make world teams, Olympic teams. I wish I could have made the Olympics this year, but I still got some work to do. I definitely still got some work to do. But just to be able to represent Team USA as U17 as my age group. I just turned 16,
So to be able to do this and compete at this high level it's amazing. I'm very glad to be able to represent Team USA. We have a lot of great people that come from here.
Very cool. So one of the questions I have is you come to a combine here and there's a lot of different levels, a lot of different girls. How do you set like the example? Like what do you do? Because there's a lot that they know who you are. They're looking up to you. What do you how do you set that?
Well, I don't change. People, I feel like people need to get to know me for who I am, not what they see on the wrestling mat, because I'm a nice person. A lot of people don't think that, but I am. I'm definitely a goofball. Like we were joking around over here. Like I like to wrestle with the coaches. I like to wrestle with the kids. I love kids. Like we were just playing hide and seek in here. I mean, I feel like I'm not gonna do anything different. I'm just gonna continue to be a role model that I am. If people don't like it, they don't like it. If people do, they do. Thank you. But I'm not gonna force anybody on myself because I feel like if I do that, then I'm changing for somebody, and I'm definitely not gonna change for anybody.
Well, Morgan, I want to wish you the best of luck in the coming months and your run to win a gold medal again.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so Morgan is just super. I mean, one, she's super tough. She is a super tough.
I know.
Wrestler.
Yeah, I watched her Fargo. I know who she is.
Yeah, and you know what? I think she's a returning world champ at U17s. I could be wrong, but I think she is. How big is it to return to an event? Does it play a role to return to an event where you had already won the event previously?
I mean, I would imagine it would have to.
Yeah, but the field is different. The field is different, and the level of competition. I mean, the level of competition isn't maybe any different, but maybe you now like get a whole other. I mean, previous Olympic gold medal, sure, it matters, but it doesn't guarantee anything.
Yeah, Morgan Turner, 2023 U17 World Champion, 43 kilos. So she won world. That's what I thought. I thought she did too, because I vaguely remember seeing the post from Flo, but I wanted to just fact check myself before we started talking.
Yeah. All right. So any other thoughts on the Olympics before we jump to the U17s that will happen later this week?
Do we want to mention the drama in Hildebrandt's bracket?
I don't know that I know the. Oh, I do know the drama in Hildebrandt's bracket. Sorry.
I would say, really?
So actually, that's a great question, right? So for those of you that don't know, well, actually, you know what? I'll let Lucas explain it. Go ahead.
So, Vinesh Pogat knocks off Yui Sasaki. By the way, if I butchered that, please. I'm an Italian from Brooklyn, New York. I am of no Indian descent, nor do I have any study in their phonetics. So please bear with me. She knocks off Yui Sasaki in the first round, which, in of itself,
was it the first round? It wasn't the quarters.
First round.
Okay.
She knocks off a internationally undefeated Yui Sasaki. Probably, when we say undefeated in cadets, undefeated in juniors.
Undefeated ever.
Hasn't taken a single loss internationally. Fogat beats her 3-2. She then beats Oksana Levich out of Ukraine, who was my dark horse in that bracket. She then wins in the semifinals. I wake up early the morning of the finals, and I see the posts coming out. Vinesh has missed weight. Hildebrandt is Olympic champion, which is what I hear at first. Then I see, I believe it's Willie Saylor, I first saw post something along the lines of, they're going to wrestle the final anyway. This is BS. They're screwing over the Americans. So then I looked into it. It's ridiculous. But my guess is the Olympics not wanting to look like an amateur, like I guess wanting to have a final, which I understand in an event setting, wanting to have a finals. They push Ulenis Guzman. You use Len again, not Cuban either, ladies and gentlemen, but bear with me. Guzman, who lost in the semifinals to Hildebrandt in the finals. Bogart doesn't get a medal. She's disqualified, which in of itself was nutty. And also doesn't get to wrestle for bronze at that point, obviously. So Sasaki gets bronze from the top side of the bracket. Man, Hildebrandt talked about it, that when Fogart missed weight, they called her and said, "You're Olympic champion." Then an hour later, they called her and said, "Hey, psych, I lied. You got to wrestle." Which, to me, is the nuttiest thing ever. And I wish I could talk to Sarah, because I would love to just pick her brain about that hour of life. That you get the phone call, they tell you you're Olympic champion. It's about 3 hours till you were supposed to wrestle the finals. And then all of a sudden, within an hour, you're no longer Olympic champion. And you have to wrestle a girl in Guzman, who is not an easy out by any means.
Yeah.
Who, now talk about Guzman, you're really playing with house money at that point. Like, you go from losing in the semis, needing to beat. So this is the crazy thing.
Yeah, needing to beat Sasaki to get to the freaking.
Or Leavich. Either way, you have to beat a straight dog to get a medal in the Olympics in the first place. And now within an hour, it's, hey, you're in the finals with a chance to win gold after losing. I looked it up. It has happened in the Olympics once before, that a gentleman, and I'm going to butcher this name, right? I'm going to butcher it, but boy, I'm going to give it a good old college try. 1920 Olympic Games, men's lightweight, August Feast had the opportunity to wrestle for gold after a loss. He's the only other man, at least as far as I can find, that in Olympic history wrestled for a gold medal after a loss.
So I want to know who contacted Sarah, because, and the reason I say that is, I can't imagine that the officials at the Olympics contacting, saying one thing and then walking it back. That's crazy.
What I read is that's exactly what happened.
Well, and if that happened, that's crazy. Okay, because you have to assume that some point in time, someone is going to miss weight in the history of the Olympics. There should be something in the rule book that says, "Oh, person misses weight. This is the next step. This is what you do."
So in every other tournament, in every other situation, in any other medal placement, any other standing, it's a forfeit. The thing is, because it was the finals, it's the Olympics doesn't want to have someone win gold without a final.
Right, and I get that.
No. So what I'm saying is, what I'm imagining happened is this. It was almost an automated response, like, oh, she missed weight. Who is her opponent? Sarah Hildebrandt. Make the phone call. She's champion. Then they looked at the bracket. They're like, wait a minute. No, she's not. Call her back. It's like I lied. She has to wrestle, which is nutty. That's ridiculous. But again, what are you going to do? I mean, she won, but can you imagine if she lost, bro?
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so let's take a break now and go to my interview with Kaila Manuel, another member of the U17 team heading to Amman, Jordan. And we'll come back and finish things up. All right, here with Kaila Manuel. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Michigan, Alaska, right? Yeah. So we're now in Tennessee. You travel all over the place, getting matches and everything else. Obviously here for the camp. We'll talk about it in a second. I just talked to Morgan. She told me that she got a little freaked out getting dumped in the whitewater rafting. Yeah. Was that your first time whitewater rafting?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
What'd you think?
It was fun getting dunked with everyone. The girls are funny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you nervous? She said she was nervous.
I was excited to go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Let's look forward to August and Jordan and how you're preparing for that trip, that level of competition, all those things. You've wrestled some tough competition for a long time, right? How are you gearing up for what's ahead of you? Fargo and then that.
We're just practicing a lot of technique, and that's why we're going to all these like camps and tournaments to get matches in, to like try out the new moves, and
yeah. So is it have you ever been to Jordan?
No, I've never been out of the country.
You've never been out of the country. So this is your first time to an environment like that. Has there been any conversations about, it's a whole different kind of culture. It's a whole different, situation. Have you thought about that at all?
Well, yeah, I want to see like how people wrestle from outside the country and like experience that. So that's why we're going to Pan Am's before Worlds, to like experience out of the country before the big tournament. So.
Okay, kind of like a test run.
Yeah.
Getting prepped for it.
Yeah.
So coming down here, you talked about going to lots of different places, getting technique, getting experience, from lots of different people. What's a piece of technique or something you picked up over the last few months from someone that you're like, man, I'm going to be using that in the future?
Yeah. The guy yesterday, I liked his collar ties that he did, like forehead to your arm. So, and I like the knee pinch rolls that we were just practicing here. Okay. So, yeah.
Those are the things that you think you're gonna take back to Michigan with you and practice with them moving into the future.
Yeah.
All right. So where else have you gone as far as prepping for Worlds? Like other combines, other camps, or you've been training mostly in Michigan?
We're training mostly in Michigan. We invite girls over to train with us, but we've been training mostly in Michigan. But right now is where the tournaments are beginning. Like there's Tulsa, and then Pan Am's, and then a camp that I have to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So what does it mean to have USA?
It means a lot. Like that was my main goal that was my only goal for World Team Trials, was to win. Because like saying that you're on the world team, like it's a big thing.
It is a big thing.
Yeah.
It is a big thing. Is it nerve-wracking?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
A lot of pressure?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because I know like my family and my friends are watching, so.
Yeah. Have you thought about? Do you think about the tournament coming up, or do you really just kind of maintain your focus on things? For me, and I've never wrestled at that level before, but I would be, kind of thinking about what it's going to be like, what Jordan's going to be like.
I think about it a lot, like the girls I'm going to wrestle, and how like they're like, I'm guessing they're going to be more aggressive than the girls here. So I'm just like trying to mentally prepare for that, like the change and stuff.
Very cool. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck in Jordan. I want to wish you the best of luck all summer long in Fargo and Pan Am's and everywhere else. And can't wait to watch you compete for Team USA.
Thank you.
All right, man. So that was Kaila Manuel. It was she. I think she's the only member of the team to actually wrestle in Fargo this year, and I think she won Fargo. Out of this, typically, because when you go to World Championships, you don't wrestle Fargo typically.
Yeah.
But a lot of them went to Pan Am's. How important do you think it is to go and have that experience sometime this summer internationally, going to Pan Am's, where you have to go to a different country, understand how to cut the weight, all the different things are important to be able to, because we were just talking about a minute ago about the young woman from India missing weight. It happens. You go to a different country, it's just one of those situations.
I think it's huge. I think it's super important to at least understand not only that, but something that, a lot of people may not look at off rip is time zones.
Yeah.
And getting your body acclimated to changing to a time zone. But yeah, I think it's huge. I think the ones that did go to Pan Am's, good on them. Yeah, that's just my main is I feel like it is super important. So the fact that they did, I think, is great. And I think it bodes well for our probable performance.
Yeah. All right, so let's go real quick before we go to my last interview, which is with Piper Fowler, and we're going to talk a little bit about Piper in a second. Before we do that, let's talk a little bit about, we've got 3 men who are wrestling both Greco and freestyle at U17s. Emmett Sherlock, who I think has ties here to Georgia.
I'm not familiar with
You're
him.
not. Okay, all right. One of the Rainey twins, and Dom Monoretto. So you traveled all the way to Jordan, just like you traveled all the way to the Olympics. It would be nice to be able to wrestle 2 tournaments because, man, it's a long way to go for one match if you happen to lose that one match. But then again, that's tough, right? It's tough to wrestle both styles. So what do you take, man? Which one are you doing?
Oh, I would do both styles, but I'm also the idiot that, when I was younger would wrestle 2-3 divisions in a weekend. I always like wrestling more. I always am a firm believer that wrestling more and staying warm is the way to go.
Yeah, but the problem is not staying warm. Well, so in your situation, that would have been the case. But in their situation, like you might wrestle on Monday, Greco, make weight twice, and then not wrestle till Thursday, freestyle, and have to make weight twice again. Especially if it's cutting.
So it's like Fargo.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. So it's not that big of a deal.
That's what I'm saying, is that it's something that they would have done before. Like, it's not like you're asking to do something unheard of.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the 2 young men who have Southeast ties, who are wrestling in Amman, Jordan, and that is Nate Askew and Michael Mako. Mako's wrestling. I think they're both wrestling freestyle. Yeah. So, both are studs. I mean, let's be honest.
Man,
but this is a different level. So let's talk.
I'm pumped for Nate, man. I've known that kid since he was in like elementary school, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah. No, he's definitely, and I think he's been up training at UNC. I think he moved from Baylor up there. And even though it's his senior year, he's, kind of doing the kind of RTC thing. I think, don't anybody quote me. I don't actually know. I don't know. I had a few conversations. I know he's been getting some workouts in. And then Michael Mako. If you're looking at the men's freestyle group, because it has 2 Southeast kids in it, how do you think they're going to fare? Like, if we were looking at the men's freestyle in the Olympics and we're kind of like having expectations, what were your expectations for the U17 men?
Oh, I think that they should do really well. I mean, let's look beside the Southeast guys. You got guys like Mel Miller, Dom Monoretto,
another Rainey,
another Rainey who also. I think this group will do really well. And my TV popped on. Excuse me. I think this crew will do really well.
Very cool. All right. So my last interview is with Piper Fowler of Cleveland. We'll go to it and then we'll wrap up this week's show. All right. I'm here with Piper Fowler. I had to come all the way to Cleveland to get an interview with Piper. First, how awesome is it to be in your home? All these girls coming in from all over the place. You get to show them kind of Cleveland, Tennessee, and also Cleveland wrestling.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really cool to see. We have a room full of like the best girls in the world, and also brand new people, right? So like there's college coaches here, people just looking to, college coaches looking at them, or just looking to get better, or just looking to be in a room with good people, high level athletes. So it's really cool that we were able to get them all to come here. So,
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys just got back from whitewater rafting?
Yep.
What'd you think of that as an experience?
It was really fun. It was a good bonding experience. You know, we had to help each other back up in the boats and all had to row together. So yeah, it was really fun.
Very cool, very cool. You mentioned having lots of different levels, right? And you and Morgan obviously have been on the podium at such a high level,
Right.
you know, and then you have some brand new girls out here, right?
Yeah.
So how they look up to you? How do you kind of embrace that and kind of showing them how we pay attention, how we do this, how we do that sort of thing?
Right. I think the main thing for me is like lead by example, you know, so I can't like goof off and then expect everybody else to be working hard, you know, because like you said, there's a lot of people in here who look up to me, look up to Morgan, look up to the other girls who are on the world team,
Right.
some of the college athletes that are here. So leading by example is a big thing for me, just showing everybody, you know, what to do, how to act. There's certain things, there's do's and don'ts, you know,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, absolutely. But it's got to be a cool experience having those kind of newbies kind of being around and kind of showing them. That's
Yeah.
got to be fun.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's really cool that I've been able to be like a role model for the little girls, because you know I had role models growing up, you know
Right.
what I'm saying, and I never would I have thought that I would be that for somebody else, but I think it's really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you know the Fowlers, and I'm gonna just touch on Logan and Cy, and you guys have had quite a run over the last 3 years, the family as a whole. So how awesome is it to have that experience with your brothers?
It's really cool. You know, we've all grown up together. They've been, when I was younger and I was the only girl in the room, a lot of people didn't really want to go with me. So having a twin brother and a brother that's older than me that have been around my same size my whole life, it's been amazing. They've been training me ever since I was little, and even now they still train me. They're the ones who push me the hardest, and they're the reason why I'm good. And I think we all just kind of help each other grow and get better and learn. And yeah,
that's cool.
really
Yeah, that's awesome. So I remember talking to Boskin back when you were getting ready to go to the World Championships the first time,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago?
Last year.
Last year. Okay, so last year, and he posted something about you guys doing a training at like 2 a.m. or something like that to acclimate yourself and get ready for the competition.
Right.
You know. So do you anticipate doing something like that to kind of acclimate yourself to be ready for Jordan? Not necessarily train in the middle of the night, but what are you going to kind of do to kind of prep yourself?
Right. So I mean, right now we do a lot of cardio workouts, a lot of things just to get in shape. Try to be in the best shape we can, because doing like getting up early and stuff, which we will probably do again. You want to just eliminate any advantage that anybody else could have, right? Because there's people that live there. There's people coming from close time zones, people that live close and things like that, and having a big time zone, big difference. Like there's different disadvantages and advantages. So doing that just eliminates those advantages as much as we have control over.
Right.
And that's just what we try to do. Just try to get ready.
So talking about some of the coaches that have come in, I know I asked a couple of your teammates on the team. They've kind of been working with different people, either here or in other places. Is there something you picked up on over the last either 2 or 3 days here, or the last couple of months that you're like, I'm going to use that in the future?
Well, I just got back from the OTC, so there was some things that I learned there.
Okay.
And then here, it's really cool to get to see the different things from different college coaches, right? Different things that they work on at their college, or different things that they believe in, different types of styles of wrestling and things like that. So I definitely take a lot of different things from all the different coaches here.
So how does it feel to have Team USA on your chest?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my country. I love representing it, and being able to not only represent my country but win for my country, and just go out there and wrestle wearing USA everything. It's super cool.
All right, so the last question I have for you is, I think I got a video of you coming back, getting off the plane, and all the people kind of cheering for you after you won, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
It's really cool. You know, a lot of people don't have the type of community that I have, and it's incredible here. You know, not only, I mean, when you're representing for USA, you know, everybody is rooting for you in the US, you know what I'm saying? And then coming home, everybody from Cleveland and Tennessee, just anybody from all different like phases of my life, right? Like church people were there, wrestling people were there, friends were there, just all different people were there, and it was really cool to be able to see the support, because I hear a lot about it, and on posts and stuff, people message me and stuff, but I haven't been able to like see how many people truly support me just in my community, and so it's really cool.
Well, I want to wish you the best of luck in the coming weeks. I don't know if you're going to Fargo again or not.
No,
okay.
I'm not. I will be
focusing
going to
on
Pan Ams.
Okay, focus on Pan Ams, and then on Jordan. I want to wish you the best of luck, and yeah, bring home another medal.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so you know, I don't know if you remember. I asked Piper in the interview. I don't know if you remember her coming back and the scene in Chattanooga. I'm not sure exactly what airport it was, but everybody cheering for her and all those things of winning a world title. That's got to be pretty cool. Do you remember seeing that on social media?
Yeah, I remember seeing it. That's gotta be sick.
Yeah, that's gotta be pretty cool. So just like Morgan Turner, Piper's been there. She's won a world title. That's gotta be huge. Do you think it is more pressure?
I don't think it's necessarily more pressure, but I think it does for sure play a part. I think you know what to expect. I think there's for sure a level of like you know what to expect in the scenario.
Yeah. All right. So for those of you that are watching this coming week, so I think they start with Greco, go to women's freestyle, then go to men's freestyle. I believe that's how the order is. I believe it starts on the 17th. So this coming weekend is when wrestling begins. I assume it will be on Flow. Yeah, you'll have to catch up with time zones just like you did for Paris. But look for the three wrestlers from the Southeast: Nate Askew, Michael Mako, Piper Fowler. I had a great time up with the girls at the training camp in Tennessee, talking to Bella Williams and Kaila Manuel and Morgan Turner as well, and really watching that group kind of come together and kind of train and those sorts of things. It's a fun crew. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Any last thoughts on the U17s or the Olympics before we wrap up this week's show?
Not really, man. I'm just excited to see him get after it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Maybe we'll get a chance to bring one of them on if they happen to win a world title.
That'd be cool.
All right, man. You take care. See ya.
See ya.